OMG. Is it possible that we might actually know who the Zodiac killer is? Finally. Okay, guys, this is huge. We are going to do a reading on this and see if there's any truth and validity to this story. Sarah Boyles, a freelance journalist, wrote this article that my son posted on Facebook. A California woman going viral online admittedly claims her father has admitted to being a SK. Her father is pleading with authorities to take him to the dump sites. Galina, whatever, I can't pronounce her last name, not gonna try. You see it there on the screen. Has recently gone viral on social media after sharing claims that her father, who is near death at age 86, has confessed to numerous homicides. He reportedly has hundreds of diaries and documenting most of his life, and some of his entries are beyond appalling. She said that her father stated he has taken approximately one life a month from 1965 to 1999. She has even gone as far as claiming knowledge of multiple burial sites through her father's confessions. She is sharing pictures of her father next to the most famous sketch of Zodiac killer. Her father was that age during the incidents in San Francisco. She stated he doesn't focus on those passings as much as he does about a dozen others. Dr. John Charles Trefil, however you pronounce their last name, is the subject of these claims. In multiple Facebook posts, Galina has stated her father took lives in California, mainly Mendocino. I apologize if I mispronounce that. Sonoma, San Francisco, Marin, and Alameda counties. She has also stated John, who was originally from Illinois, where he studied to be a doctor, preyed on victims in Illinois, Virginia, Oregon, and Idaho. Oh, there's that Idaho mention again. Galina shared that she has all of her father's journals where he speaks of some of the homicides. She also says she has a knife he used in some of the incidences and a bottle of poison which she says she has attempted to turn over to police. Galina says she has spoken to and has been interviewed by over 40 different agencies over the years, and despite what she feels overwhelming evidence, they will not go forward in investigating her claims further. Galina even went so far as to give some pretty exact locations, saying a number of remains were dumped on the 13 curves along Highway 20, specifically between the 4.5 and 5 mile marker. This area has never been searched. She also claimed her father had cabins and torture chambers where he would take his victims, that she knows the location of these. Dr. John Trefil is seen in the third picture below. Hopefully I see pictures. Speaking of psychologist, John's daughter stated that her father has stated that her father is very afraid of men, but he is willing to speak to author Kelly Arnold about different ways he TOURT his victims. Kelly Arnold also has read the fully unredacted journals. She has been studying this particular case for half a decade. Man, that sounds really good. Half a decade. She's been studying it for 5 years. Okay? One of the more damning pieces of evidence is the fact that there is solid proof that Dr. John Trefil wrote to the San Francisco Chronicles and other area newspapers quite frequently. The Zodiac killer also wrote the same newspaper frequently. John would rant about things he was enraged with, as well as his hatred of the opposite sex. The ZK seemed to enjoy writing the San Francisco Chronicles as much as John. Galena is frustrated that she has pictures of his cabins that were hidden away, showing that individuals were chained to beds. She wondered why officials don't find that to be alarming. Although her father is being compliant, she stated that he is having a hard time occasionally as seeing the victims as victims instead of objects. Galena has remained very private with the list of victims her father has written down. She does not want to shock them online, and she would rather the FBI handle it. She wants justice, and she says her father's age shouldn't matter. After the posts went viral, the county sheriff's office released a statement assuring the public that they have been aware of Galena's claims since 2023 and have spoken with her via an advocate. They said they have access to all of John's journals and writings, and after reviewing them, they found nothing substantial linking John to any homicides. They referenced one unsolved murder from the 70s in particular in which Galena claimed her father confessed. There was unidentified male DNA in evidence from the case. They obtained John's DNA from the court order and said it was not a match. That's interesting. They also stated John's DNA has been admitted to CODIS and as of their press release has not been linked to any unsolved murders. This becomes more confusing when you learn that a victim, according to John's journal, was actually discovered by his daughter and researchers. I will write about that a little later in the story. This goes on. Her father spent hours of confessing. Valkyrie Doe. I'm not interested in that. This is a very long article. The recent MSCO statement does not necessarily match up with what Galena has claimed. Authorities have investigated in relation to her father. Wow. You could probably look this up. You have her name. And here are the pictures. Look at the first picture here. And there's more. Let's do this. Here we go. Let's go up to the top. There. Very similar. They look very similar. Wow, we're going to look into this. I know this is a long intro, but this is definitely worth exploring. Okay. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are having a fabulous day. It's gorgeous outside right now, but it's freaking cold. Yeah, but it's going to be in the mid-50s. I shouldn't complain. But maybe I will, because I got used to 80 degrees the other day. 80, I think it got up to 84. But anyhow, that's not what you're here for. You're not here for my weather report. You're here to learn about the Zodiac Killer. Is this Dr. John, which I'm going to call him Dr. John, I'm not trying to pronounce his last name, is he the authentic Zodiac Killer? According to authorities, and they said that his DNA doesn't match up with anything. They put it into CODIS and it doesn't match up with anything. But, his killing spree went from 1965 to 1999. 1999, DNA was still primitive. Yeah. Still primitive. And my hair looks atrocious this morning. Oh, well. And then they said they followed up certain things and things didn't match up. Did they have access to all his journals? Did they really do a thorough investigation? Or is it just like, oh, he's an 86-year-old man. He's about ready to croak. We're not going to bother. I don't know. But I think the public deserves to know if the identity of the Zodiac Killer has been revealed. Ew! I just bumped my other camera. And you'll understand. Oh, sorry about that. I want my coffee word to be. There we go. My hand just kind of flew. Yeah, I'm wound up. I am caffeinated, baby. Anyhow, we deserve to know. We're going to dig into that today. And I think I did my disclaimer already. My mind's just all over the place because I'm thinking about this man. But we're going to find if Dr. John is. I'm going to call him Dr. John. Okay. Now, let's dig into the cards here. Starting out with Trish James, Investigations Oracle. I should bring out my True Crime deck. Well, I'm going to just get a few cards here now. I might even bring out my deck that I created. Okay. Let's see. Does this deck want to talk? We did have a clump fall out. No, we didn't. Okay. Tied or restrained? That's interesting. Because allegedly, he says that he did that to his victims and he TOURTURED them before deleting them from the planet. Then we have cover-up or tampering. This makes me think of boo-boos that may have been done in investigations. I'm getting cross-contamination of evidence. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting contamination. I'm not so sure that it is intentional. Maybe it was. I do not know. But with that said, I got to shuffle this in stacks because my deck has 140 cards in it. And it is hefty. Cannot do it all in. Or it's difficult to try to do this. And these are tarot card size. It's not the mini. And then I thought, well, I might even recreate this deck at a second run. I'm thinking about it, making it poker sized. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and divide these up. Let's just see what happens here. Let's just see what cards want to come out. About Dr. John. Is he guilty? Is he the Zodiac killer? Power, control. Wow, wow, wow. We had a spill. Boy, did we have a spill. Okay. Let's see what we got. Treason traitor. The truth. Strategy. Fear. And the home. What I'm getting right here, this is leading me to believe that he is, to be perfectly honest. This is making me think he is. We have somebody who is in control of everything. And we got this traitor here. And I'm feeling more like that this is the daughter who is telling exactly what happened, claiming and talking about her father at his confessions. Then we have the home and we have fear. He was in control most of her life. And it makes me believe that fear kept her quiet for years. And now he's on his way off of the earthly plane, and she's trying to come. She has a plan of trying to come out with the truth because he's 86 years old. He's frail. What's he going to do to me now? That's the energy I get there. Let's see if this side of the deck has anything to add to that. Escape, freedom. She feels like she's free to talk about this now because he's on his way out. He may have used some fear tactics, like you can't tell anybody. You may be my daughter, but I'm not afraid to take you out too. You know, you can't tell anybody. That's kind of what I'm getting. You like the lifestyle you're living. You cannot tell anybody. And I think that's all that the deck has to say. Interesting, nevertheless. So, yeah, she feels she is free to talk now. The daughter feels like she truly believes that he is the one, that he is the Zodiac. Now, we're going to get into the tarot. You know what? I have these spreads, but just give me a second. These for different kinds of readings. The crimes. I am thinking we don't have, it's not a missing person. Okay, we are gonna do okay. I'm just doing a general Celtic cross to start off. And I've already asked this deck the cards because sometimes the energy shifts. And I did already previously ask before I started this reading if this deck would want to be read in reverse in regards to the situation. And it came up with the Emperor giving, that's control, that's with the Six of Pentacles, that's giving control over and letting them talk, an even exchange. So they were kind of saying, yeah, I think they were putting it into my hands, really. Giving control over to me if I wanted to use reversals or not. We're using reversals. Okay. So, I wonder if there's any other true crime readers out there who are going to jump on this. Really curious. Okay. We're going to do the nature. The nature of the crimes. And we have the Two of Wands. Planned. Each one was planned out. And I'm willing to bet he stalked his victims. Willing to bet he did. Crossed by the Queen of Swords. That feels more like justice. That feels more like this is the obstacle of the justice system with these crimes is trying to find evidence, trying to investigate it, trying to find truth. The search for truth was an obstacle for the justice system and investigators. Okay, hidden influences. 10 of Wands. I almost feel like Dr. John was struggling with something. We might need clarifiers on that. He was struggling with some kind of aspect of some sort. The struggle, hidden aspects about the struggle. This could even be how the victims struggled. Were there struggles before their ultimate end. And then we have what led up to what the past, what led up to the crime or previous patterns, strength, power, dominance. For whatever reason, this feels like a case of feeling inferior at some point. The article said that he feared men, and he hated women. And something in his past caused this. There's a sense of dominance. Makes me wonder, in his own past, was like growing up, if he had like a father and a mother that that were domineering. I'm feeling like a very strict, maybe even ABUSIVE father, and mother went along with it. Maybe she participated. There's something here about fearing men, and that goes down to his father, and despising women, probably because his mom didn't have a relationship with his mom, and she allowed things to go on. The motivation behind his crimes, Nine of Swords. Worry, anxiety. This guy, he was a doctor, but I'm surprised the magician isn't here. Of what you see is not what you're getting. I'm getting this image of a man. He has severe depression and anxiety issues, fearful issues, afraid of everybody, and I'm getting a very vengeful energy as well. I have to get even for all the wrong that was done to me. It's almost like he was the victim of these victims, if you understand what I mean. It's like, I have to get rid of these people before they get to me. I'm getting wires crossed in his brain. Definitely wires crossed in his brain. And his motivation, he was motivated by fear. Funny, the fear card had showed up in my true crime deck. He was motivated by fear. And he suffered a severe anxiety. Panic. I get panic. I get this feeling of panic. And when he would go into these manic, and I don't know if he's bipolar, there's something wrong upstairs. Or there was, for him to commit these crimes. Well, we know anybody that could do these atrocities, and so many of them, there's something wrong upstairs. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump that camera. But I get panic attacks, and it's almost like when he feels them coming on, he had to KILL to alleviate them, to get rid of the threat. Okay? And then he would go out, and whoever he felt was the source of his threat, that's who he did the unthinkable stuff to. That's kind of what I'm getting. And he planned, it's almost like he went into this delusional state that Miss Jane was after him. she was going to tell on him. She knew of his dirty deeds, so he had to get rid of her. This came after the first few killings or whatever. I'm using this as an example. This is just what's kind of being shown to me. I'm trying to translate the movie in my head to you guys out there. And it's almost like they were a threat of some sort, and when the threat got stronger, he had a plan. He may not have had a direct plan for each individual, but I'm feeling like he had a blueprint. Almost like his own step-by-step instructional manual in his brain. When he got a victim, step 1 is this, tie them up. Step 2 is this, gag them. Step 3 is this. Step 4, and then the ultimate ending. It's like he had a step-by-step process. Very methodical about that. And it's almost like he felt that I have to do it this way. This is the only way to eliminate the threat. And they have to endure a purification process. It's almost like the pain he inflicted on them before snuffing them out was a purification process. I have to prepare their soul before they go before they are unalived. I have to prepare their soul for that transition, and they are a bad person for all their bad and wrongdoings. I've got to purify their soul by doing X, Y, Z to them, and they have to feel that pain in order to be purified. That's what I'm getting. I don't like I'm in his energy right now. I am feeling that this is the guy. I'm feeling it. I'm also feeling he's close to his end. Very close. Very close. Could be days. Weeks at the most. Possibly days. Now let's get on to the future direction. This is the steps that may be taken or could be taken moving forward. Judgment. This is Judgment Day. And this is saying the next thing that's going to happen is he's going to pass away. He's never going to receive actual judgment on earth, unfortunately, for his heinous acts. And what I don't like about his energy, he's trying to get me to feel sorry for him. And I'm sorry, I can't. I cannot feel sorry for him. I'm wondering if he's in a coma now. Or if he's sedated. Or something like that, because it feels like he's here, but I don't think he's passed yet, because that's yet to come. But it's in the near future. Death is knocking on his door right now. There's karma and reckoning that's going to have to take place. His own soul. There's karma that's going to be playing out here real soon. I still don't feel that authorities really want to do anything, because what are they going to do? Take him out of a hospital bed and put him in a hospital bed in a jail cell? He can't. He's kind of in his own prison anyhow. But he was the perfect SK. Serial. But there's going to be decisions and judgment passed. I think it's going to happen after he passes away. There may even be an announcement to the world. Hey, the case of the Zodiac killer is finally solved. We know who it was. Now, his current condition. It's funny. All these cards were upright. But now we have a reverse. is the Hermit in the reverse. This is somebody who's inside, taking shelter, thinking, contemplating, hiding, but he's outing. His current state is, this is his confession. I'm coming out. I'm telling the truth. I know I am on my way out of this physical vessel of mine. Again, I get this. He's leaving the earthly plane very soon. Other people, external factors or influences. I shit you not. We've got the fucking Empress. Mama dearest, I shit you the fuck not. His mother played a huge role in everything that he did. I'm not trying to blame her per se, but this is in his own eyes. Mama is to blame. I did this because of my mama, my mother dearest. It feels like, because he feels like he missed out on that nurturing. I'm not seeing that because she's upright. Okay, if she was reversed, I would say, oh yeah, he didn't have much of a mother. I think she tried, but his wires being crossed kind of sees his mother in a different light. Maybe she tried to discipline him, and all he could see is his father. There's something there about the mother and the environment that played a factor in the way he did things and why he did what he did. Ultimately, individuals have they make their own decisions, okay? But he really, 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 really wants to blame her. Yep. Okay. So we're going to do this and make a little bit of room. The Hermit in the reverse. Okay. Because I'm on a frame over here. Okay. Let's see what the investigation. So what are they hoping to find or fear of missing out on? We have the Moon. They are hoping to uncover this decades, over half a century long mystery. They're kind of hoping that light is going to be shed on the Moon, everything that is hidden. And they're afraid that they may not know everything. There is a fear of, even if our evidence is not really adding up, do we take this person for their word? Or they may even be thinking somebody wants to come out into the light and be, or is this a viral attempt to go viral and capitalize on the Zodiac killer? That's their perspective. I think this is the guy. That's the energy I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this is the guy. But law enforcement's seeing it different. There's still too many unanswered questions for law enforcement. Even though the journals are there. I've got another thought. I don't know if I should say it or not. Too much paperwork to dig through. I don't want to do it. And I'll leave it at that. Okay. Potential resolution or long-term implications. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay. The Knight of Swords in the reverse is somebody, well, it's like a lack of, no longer moving forward. But the Knight of Swords in the reverse is a lack of control. Being out of control. Not moving forward. That's also sometimes putting on the brakes for me. That and the Chariot in the reverse are two cards. If they come up in the reverse, it's like putting on the brakes. Queen of Cups. I can't say for sure that law enforcement is going to come out and acknowledge this. Because we have the Queen of Cups here, and I'm feeling like that is his daughter. I don't know what her zodiac sign is, but I'm feeling like his daughter, who has come out and says that she knows everything. He confessed everything. She has all his diaries and journals for decades. But this is feeling like, or this can also be read as the end of the road of this crazy ass spree that this Dr. John went on, or the Zodiac Killer went on. It's finally over. And things being revealed. Anything else here with that? Yeah, we have the Four of Cups. This is the information being offered. This is apathy. This is ignoring. I think, honestly, I think investigators are going to ignore this. They're going to ignore her. And I can't pick the card up. I think they're going to ignore what she has to say. I almost get this stigma of, well, once this is solved, this is no longer a mystery. There's something here about the allure of a mystery, a good mystery. We're not doing anything about this because we want this mystery to go on. I don't understand that. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to make a name for themselves and have the case solved. Or is it that because they didn't solve the case or solve this mystery of who this is, that he came out on his own free will, that it looks bad on them? How did we not catch him? He turns himself in. I'm getting like this energy of, I didn't solve the case, so I don't want to work it. There's an ego problem here with law enforcement. I think there's going to be some acknowledgement that he did do it, but without investigating. If you understand what I mean. It's like, okay, so maybe he did it, he confessed, we don't know for sure, and try to still have a shroud of doubt left in the public minds. Okay, this guy confessed, but is he really the one? That's what I'm getting. I feel like that they're going to try to just maybe say, okay, he confesses, he says he is the Zodiac, but we're not going to name him officially. We're still going to leave it open to let the mind wander. That's unfortunately the energy that I'm getting. I want to ask about his childhood. And I think I'm going to use just Alicia Wicker's quick spread to get, and when it gets to the future cards, it's not really the future. It's like by the end of his childhood. I just want to get the nature of, now that spread's not going to, well, we'll just see. We'll just see. The timeline. Okay, we have a card falling out right away. And it is the Two of Swords in the reverse. That's like, you know, typically the Two of Swords, when they're in the reverse, it's like the swords falling out. But they're not falling out in this. They're being stuck in there. And I'm reading this more than just Two of Swords. I'm reading this as two parents. A stabbing, not literally, but kind of like both of them in it together for the treatment of how Dr. John was treated. We'll just leave this out. Okay, I'm changing gears because that's what Spirit wants. Okay. El Diablo in reverse. This is freeing myself from a bad situation. Okay, when he got to adulthood, he got away from that. But, oh, okay. Feeling these two. 10 of Pentacles. Legacy. And 3 of Pentacles working together. Okay, with his childhood, there were some evil deeds that were hidden behind the scenes. And though they looked good on the outside to the public of wealth and great foundation, underneath there was something else going on here. And as he got older, there's his legacy. What did his father do? But this is the family or a community working together to unravel some evil workings of two people. Or they hid it. They hid it very well. And it feels like this is a family legacy. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why ALEXA is picking up vehicles driving by all of a sudden. I don't get it. Anyhow, maybe it's where I got my car parked and it could see the road a lot better. What else do we got? The Chariot. Okay. Spirit's having a laugh right now because I'm wondering, I'm talking about cars driving by and what comes by and triggering my Amazon device thing, you know. Can't say her name, but, and the Chariot comes out. Little bit of humor there. But I want to look at, I want to know about his father. Because I get this legacy energy. Was his father a serial K? Was his father a serial K? Potentially. Allegedly speaking. Because I get this legacy. Keep it in the family. I hope that he didn't have any male offspring. I don't think he did, but I'm hoping he did not have any male offspring. That would be bad. But at least police would know who to look at, possibly, with any potential DNA in the future. But let's just hope not. Okay. Show me the energy of the father. Was the father a serial K? Was Dr. John's father a serial K? Queen of Pentacles. The Emperor. That's mom and dad. That is mom and dad. 8 of Swords. is trapped, confined. Or this could be the Emperor confines female. In the past, Seven of Pentacles planned, seeds planted. Oh my Lord. Nine of Wands. He couldn't keep up the persona. Two of Wands. And Eight of Wands. This is something that was never communicated. But there may have been some kind of evidence, or may have been kept within the family. What we have in the past is a lot of planning and seeds being planted. Okay? We mentioned the legacy thing. Was his father a serial? We have an emperor here who would confine women, mother figures. But it came to a point where he couldn't keep up the facade anymore, or he couldn't keep this up anymore. And he made the decision to cease any activity. Going down. His father may have had up to 8 victims. I'm saying yes, his father was a serial K also. Whoa, I had a feeling that he was. So this is some kind of misfiring of neutrons in the brain. And this is something that he picked up from his daddy. And let's just ask one more thing. Did Dr. John even know the difference between right and wrong? He probably did, because he hid what he did. But morally, now I'm not talking lawfully right or wrong, that he was breaking the law. But morally, did he have any conscious idea of what he was doing was wrong? Any moral idea of what he was doing was wrong. King of Swords. Nine of Cups. Five of Cups. Yes, he did. But he didn't want to face what he did. At the end of... this is saying that he knew. The King of Swords made the decision to take away dreams of all of his victims. And with this Five of Cups here is a regret or remorse. I don't say... he has some regrets. I don't know if he saw the light or what. That's interesting. Temperance in the reverse. Because in the past, he had an imbalance. A chemical imbalance in the past that led to him to make those decisions to do what he did. To end any dreams or possibility of dreams of any of his victims. And I think there was a sense of remorse that set in at some point. Two of Cups. This is because of a broken home, Wheel of Fortune. Changes happened in relationships. And then we've got the Three of Wands in the reverse. He knew that he was changing the direction of different people's lives, breaking up families, breaking up couples. Their ships weren't coming in. Evidence wasn't coming in. His moral compass, was he aware? It's like What I'm getting is during the actual episode of what he was doing at the time per victim, each victim, no. It's like something switched in his brain. I'm feeling like there was some kind of trigger that would happen periodically. And he said there, like, what was it, once a month over all these decades, he would take a life. So that's like 12 per year. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not sure the accuracy on one per month. Maybe in the beginning, I'm not sure. I'm feeling like a little bit of no concept of exactly how many. He may have been estimating once a month. Maybe it'll be 5 weeks and 3 weeks and then 8 weeks. That's kind of what I'm getting between episodes because I feel like that there was a trigger that triggered him. When that trigger happened, there was no concept of right and wrong morally. And then after it was done, when he come back down, he come back to his senses. Oh, what have I done? So there were times of remorse after the fact. But this was somebody who was severely mentally ill. And to think he was a doctor. He hid that very, very, very well. But I'm going to end this video here. I got some editing to do. And some DoorDash to do. So that's what I have for you. I love you all. And I'm dropping the mic.